Hey everyone, um, happy Monday. Hope everyone's having a nice day or had a nice day at work, whenever you watch this. But yeah, so this is not the first episode of season 2 of Marco Polo just yet. This is the December special, uh, titled 100 Eyes, um, or 100 Eyes, or whatever. And basically, the whole thing is just half an hour long, and it basically shows you how 100 Eyes, or as Marco and Jingham like to call him, Sifu, and how he got to Kumblock and everything. So the whole thing starts off and about 10, 11 years prior in 1262, in the Wudong Temple in South China. And you see 100 Eyes, I don't think they really ever tell you his real name, because I have a feeling 100 Eyes really isn't his name. I mean, I'm 99% sure his real name is 100 Eyes, but they don't really tell you his real name, um, in this special. But so I'm just gonna keep calling him 100 Eyes. I may start calling him Seafood, just like in the series, but for the most part I'll call him 100 Eyes. But yeah, they don't really tell you his real name in this. So but you see 100 Eyes basically sitting in one of the rooms within the temple, and then you see someone come in behind him and tells him that the Mongols are coming. And so basically he comes out with this, it's kind of like a whip, but it has kind of an arrowhead at the end of it instead of just nothing. Um, and I think it's metal too. It's like a metal whip, but with the pointy end at it on the end of it. And so he comes out with that, and he starts using it along with fighting the people, and he kills several, or he kills yeah, he kills several of the Mongol soldiers before he is then captured. And he's brought in front of Kublai, in shackles, basically. And he has asked how, Kublai asks him how a monk can defeat 25 of his army just by himself. And he continues to ask, ask the secret of how 100 Eyes was able to defeat 25 of his trained soldiers. Um, he wants to know the specific secret as to how that happened. 100 Eyes says peace, basically not really giving him an answer. And then Kublai says he will stay there and reveal the Chinese secrets of fighting to the war minister, whether he wants to or not. And if Kublai is like, well, if 100 Eyes proves to be useful, then he can live. If he doesn't, and defies the laws, then he will suffer death far greater than the monks who died with the scrolls in the temple and everything. 100 Eyes laughs, which prompts Kublai to ask if he doesn't fear death. And 100 Eyes responds that he doesn't cling to life. And then I think they might have said a few things back and forth, a little bit. Um, but then, so then 100 Eyes is brought in front of a wrestler named Boar, and apparently the reason why he's named that is because he's wrestled um, actual boars without the use of weapons, or he was able to capture boards without the use of a weapon, and basically wrestled them so that he could get them and stuff. Either way, regardless of how he was named that, he 100 Eyes is asked to demonstrate how he is able to get out of Boar's grasp. But the catch is that he is going to be blindfolded, and he is told that Kublai wants a report of how he does it blindfolded, and that's why he's doing it. You don't really get any further explanation than that until a little bit later. So Boar then, kind of wraps his arms around Hundred Eyes and squeezes and everything. But Hundred Eyes doesn't make any effort to escape, and then it goes outside of the room where Hundred Eyes and Boar are in, and you hear a lot of shouting from inside of the room, and when the shouting stops, the soldier that's directly in front of the door, but not facing the door, turns around, looks at the door, and then goes inside, sees everyone dead, and Hundred Eyes is nowhere in sight. Eventually, the soldiers come catch up to Hundred Eyes and bring him back to Kublai. Then Kublai asks Hundred Eyes if he knows why he was blindfolded when asked to demonstrate how he fights. Excuse me. And Kublai continues to say without waiting for an answer, that it is to see if he is capable of continuing to fight, like he does, only in the dark. And as Kublai says this, a guy is handling this. I think it's a species of cobra, and it's obviously venomous and everything. And so this guy is holding this snake, and kind of making sure that the snake doesn't face him or anything, and holds the snake outstretched towards Hundred Eyes, and the snake spits venom at Hundred Eyes, and the venom gets on his eyes and everything, and so therefore he is blinded by the snake. And then after all that, you see Hundred Eyes, start trying to fight like he used to when he was able to see, with his eyelids, still kind of scarred from the venom, and you see him do that for quite a while, but he's unsuccessful in fighting like he used to. But before that, you see him, feel around and come across some food on a table. And after, eating some of I think it's the rice, but after eating some of the food, he kind of, throws the bowl across the room and everything in anger and frustration and stuff. And then you see him, start trying to fight again like he used to, and being unsuccessful. And eventually, he's able to, fight like he used to, and his eyelids, become normal again, and everything. Kublai and Hundred Eyes are then seen, playing. I think it's their version, an older version of chess, with very older versions of chess pieces and everything. And so then while they're doing that, they kind of speak on different things. And then Hundred Eyes is he says that he now sees things in 100 eyes, hence the name. And then and a little bit later, you see Kublai's son, who isn't named Jingham during this episode, or by this point in this particular special, and he visits Hundred Eyes. I don't remember what his name was. I don't remember the name that he went by before, but yeah, they kind of speak a little bit on of lessons, and eventually Hanjadai starts training Kublai's son, and then as you see the prince, training, um, as he grows up, you eventually see him training one day, and the prince notices that Hundred Eyes is writing the character for fire upside down, and I what I remember Hundred Eyes explaining is that when he wrote it upside down, it means patience or something like that. I think he explained it a little bit further, but I don't really quite remember exactly what he said. But then the last scene is basically Kublai bringing Hundred Eyes to the temple that he built for him, that he now uses as his main, living quarters and everything. And they kind of, talk a little bit about, um, Kublai having been trying to assimilate Chinese culture with Mongolian culture and everything. And eventually, Kublai asked Hanjai to give his son a Chinese name. And after speaking for a little bit about the different kinds of meanings that he could choose for that's associated with a name, he says that he chooses Jingham, and then that's the end of the whole special. I really liked it for the most part. I really would have liked, uh, uh, I mean, I don't know. I guess for the most part, I liked it. I kind of wish they would have gone a little bit farther back, um, in this special to show how Hunjai's lived before, um, well before the Kublai and his Mongol army to came to his temple. I would have liked to see that and see how differently he lived than when he was captured and everything. I mean, yeah, he's supposed to be a monk, and traditionally, you have this idea of what monks should what monks do when they are a monk. But I mean, you get the sense, you pretty much get the sense that Hanjai wasn't the typical monk, and so I would have liked to see how he lived more so before Kublai came than just seeing when just find just opening the whole special, when Hanjai's was just learned of Kublai and his army being there right then and there. So that's just me. I don't know if any of you felt differently. If you did, tell me and give I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Um, but I do have kind of one prediction though, because I wasn't sure exactly if I was gonna be able to make any predictions based off of this. But I do kind of have one prediction, and that is, um, I feel like Hundred Eyes. I feel like I feel like he has a long-term plan. Um, I feel like he has a long-term plan designed for Kublai and his revenge on Kublai for not only capturing him but blinding him. So I feel like he has a long-term plan to get his revenge on those two things that happened to him, and you're just not you're not sure what it is yet, because up until this point, the end of season one, you haven't really seen anything that would suggest that he has any ill will towards Kublai anymore. I mean, so the reason why I'm saying this, saying that he has this long-term plan to get revenge on Kublai, is because I would say 90 to 99% of most people, or the whole population, whole world's population, they 90 to 99% of those people, the world's population, won't be as forgiving as Hundred Eyes appear to be in this special. That's not human. That's not 90 to 99% of human nature. That's not human nature for the most part. So, and I just don't, I mean, after seeing this, I don't really get the vibe that Hundred Eyes is really as forgiving as he is kind of making himself out to be. And so I feel like either by the fifth episode, the end of the fifth episode of season 2, we're gonna see this, plan that Hundred Eyes has for Kublai, and what he plans on his revenge with, what he plans to do for his revenge. If not, and if that doesn't happen, then definitely, I think by the end of season 2, and yeah, so that's what I think. That's what I mean. That's my one singular. That's my one singular prediction as far as predicting and going into season 2. So with that whole thing said and done, tell me what you guys think of this special if you watched it, and in the comments below and everything, and just I would love to see what you guys thought of it, and what you guys didn't like about it, and what you did like about it, and everything. And until the video for episode 1, or season 2 episode 1, for Marco Polo, I will see you then. But please hit like if you like this video. Hit subscribe if you want to receive notifications of any new videos that I put up. And please share this video if you like it, and you think and you know of anybody else who would like to talk about this series. And with that, I will see you next time. Bye.